Welcome to the Bassy Systems Cadillac. I could not be prouder of this Cadillac. Honestly, it is just a superb piece of equipment. I'm going to go over some of the features that make it so very unique. One of the features I'm going to start with is actually the legs. When the Cadillac arrives, it's at that height off the ground. You can leave it at that height. It comes standard with long legs, but you can also get short legs. So the Cadillac sits closer to the ground. This is so important for facilities that have low ceilings. Finally, you can do all the Cadillac repertoire, including the standing, including the tumbling and overhead work, the cat walkover, without any fear of hitting the ceiling. Next, it's made from this beautiful high density foam. I cannot overstress how many years I have searched for a good firm foam that does not deteriorate, because over time when we kneel, our knees start hitting wood. It cannot happen with this foam. It's very expensive, it's dense, it's closed cell foam, it will always rebound, and you can feel how firm it is. The vinyl is almost like suede. It has a certain texture to it, so it is not slippery, and it feels like suede. The frame is a longer frame than most Cadillacs, and finally accommodates for those larger people. Often people, tall men, tall women, feel that the typical Cadillac is too short. This Cadillac is the same length as the Reformer, exactly the same. In fact, it's the same frame. Then we move on to the components. All the poles are made out of high quality aircraft grade aluminum, beautiful aluminum, which is smooth, beautiful to the touch, visually pleasing with that matte finish. We don't have chrome, but rather a matte finish. It looks very modern, very contemporary, and very functional. Other than the poles at the top. At this point, we are using stainless steel. This is not chrome. This is stainless steel, very expensive stainless steel, which has a very different feel to it. So when you hold on to it, it's not that slippery feel of chrome, but there's a texture to that stainless steel that allows you to grip and hold on to it very firmly. So when you're here and you're doing any form of pull-up, hanging, you've got this firm stainless steel to hold on to. Now I'm going to go over the eyelets. In most Pilates equipment, we see your typical hardware store eyelet, a hole is drilled through the metal, and a standard eyelet is put wherever you may need an attachment for the spring. Here, every single eyelet is made for the job, so every eyelet is completely adjustable, including the eyelet itself, which can be put at different angles, completely adjustable, lock it into place, and that's all it takes. Same with the crossbar. It's very, very comfortable to move. It moves seamlessly, up and down, glides on these tracks. You can see these tracks inside these aluminum extrusions. I'm going to take this just a little lower. You can see here again, these eyelets can go in, they can go out, depending on where you want to hang the spring. I'll just put that there so they can move very easily. When they have a spring attached to them, they lock into position, but with no spring, As you see, they just glide seamlessly, locked into position, and we put the roll-up bar on that side. Moving on to the push-through bar. The push-through bar carries a lot of weight. There are exercises where we are putting our entire weight on this push-through bar. Like, for instance, if we do the high bridge, I won't do the full high bridge, but I'll just do a preparation for it. When we go up like that, our whole body is weighing on this Cadillac, and the weight of the body is reliant on this push-through bar. This push-through bar is so strong, so sturdy, and yet at the same time there's zero wobbling from side to side, and I love just showing that. Not a sound, not a squeak, completely swinging, frictionless. So there's no friction, it is smooth, it is quiet, and it is so strong and stable. There is this foam, very high density rubber with some texture on it to do your footwork, so it doesn't grip when you're holding onto it with your hands, but when you have your feet on it, there's some texture to hold on to. Now, when I was trying to rock the Cadillac, you saw it rock just a little bit. This Cadillac is actually extremely stable, extremely sturdy. I do the flying eagle, I do the squirrel, I do all the exercises that require the hanging front, hanging back, and this Cadillac could not be sturdier. It's very long, so it looks narrow. In fact, it's quite a wide Cadillac, but it is a long Cadillac, giving it that leaner look. A very important feature is that the push-through bar can seamlessly be taken up and down. So up and down, you can set it at whatever height you desire. It has attachments going in and out. These are particularly important for the wall unit. And by the way, these eyelets can be taken out from one side, put onto the other side, or we do provide spare eyelets that can be screwed in if you need attachments from this side, as we do for the wall tower and the wall unit, which is essentially half a Cadillac. Some of the other features that are so important. When you are loading the springs from the top, if that's too heavy, you don't take off one spring as you do on most equipment, meaning that then you would have only one spring on one side, which leads to some imbalance. Here, all you do is you lower this and you lower this. And by virtue of the fact that you've taken that down, now the spring becomes much lighter. If you want to make it heavier, you simply go up, and now you have it there. I will say that when going down and up, please remember to unweight the spring. Either take the spring off or unweight it. That allows it to move very freely. I myself forgot to unweight it, and then you can still do it, but it doesn't move quite as smoothly as when you unweight the spring and then just take it up and down. Of course, you also have attachments from the top. So if you want to connect the spring from the top, that gives you even more resistance. You certainly have that option of attaching it from the top, and then you would do the same with the other spring. In connection with the push-through bar, if you want to keep it out of the way, there is this Velcro strap that you then put on, and that keeps the push-through bar out of the way. I want to now show the bottom-loaded mechanism. So important. So you can keep this hooked wherever you like. Some people like hooking it on the loop. Some people like it a little higher, keeping it up there. Either way is fine. It comes with a very nice and sturdy carabiner. So we take it around. That first and foremost, your safety strap. Your safety strap must go on. We then put the bottom loaded springs on. And now we're ready for the footwork. It's bottom loaded, and we have 2 springs on. On most equipment, if you wanted to now go lighter, you'd have to take a spring off. Here you don't. You unweight the spring and you lift that. You unweight the spring and you lock it into place, and now you have much lighter foot bar. You can even go lighter. Unweight the spring, go lighter, unweight the spring, go lighter, and now if you're doing your footwork, of course you have a very light spring that is probably more suited to single leg work without the need to leave just one spring on, but you can have that symmetry of 2 springs on a light weight. While I'm on this side of the Cadillac, I'd like to just show you this headrest. Just a sturdy headrest. It looks as if it's floating in space. So beautiful. All you do is you take it out like that. If you don't need it, put it somewhere on the side, and to slide it in, that's all it is. Very sturdy, very firm. So again, that's the push-through bar with its adjustable top and bottom loaded mechanisms. Please remember to use the safety strap at all times. Never use the Cadillac without its safety strap. I mentioned earlier the high-grade stainless steel. I'd like to show you how seamlessly this slides. I think you'll be hard-pressed to find equipment. Those of you who have taught for years know how we have struggled to find equipment that slides so beautifully and smoothly. We have got these eyelets at the top. If you want springs from the top, over here, if you want springs coming from there, leg springs, and of course we've got these attachments over here. So you have multiple attachments that are adjustable in and out, up and down. Before I get the actual trapeze to hang there, I again want to stress that this is stainless steel, not chrome. And here we have these loops which we've for years called the fuzzies. Now I will start from the longest setting. Although these don't have the usual fuzz around them, they are so much more comfortable and so sturdy. So designed by someone who uses them, knows how they should feel. This supports the leg, and we've even added this little safety band that keeps the foot in place when you're doing more demanding, challenging exercises like the squirrel, where you need your foot to stay in, and typically we would wrap a band around to keep the foot from slipping out. Here all we have is this band that pushes down, that does not come undone. You want to release it, you simply release it. When you want to shorten the strap, you pull it down, loop it, and now the strap is shortened, and you could go yet again if you want to shorten it even more. You'd pull it through one more time, and then it is shortened even further. That is the Bassy Systems Fuzzy. These are fantastic. They are so comfortable. I cannot express how proud I am of these. I cannot express enough how proud I am of these fuzzies. So this is the Bassy Systems Trapeze. Very standard, firm foam on the top. We have the foam cuffs to protect the feet and a nice strap to hang from. The typical black springs, but if you wanted to put lighter springs, it's very easy to simply pop this off, put lighter springs on, and pop the cuff back on. So these stainless steel poles are very nice to hold on to. You've got the nice cuffs to protect the feet, very comfortable, and from there rolling up, reaching out, and you don't get that typical fatigue in the hands that you get on chrome when the hands start slipping. The stainless steel allows you to hold on and holding on. So it comes with short yellow springs and a roll-up bar, which is used, of course, for the roll-up. Very nice tension. These springs are calibrated with a computer so that the progression is in a logical algorithm. With some springs, what happens is there's very little tension and then a lot of tension, or with others there's a lot of tension and then the tension decreases quite rapidly. Here there's an absolute consistent progression that is calibrated, as I say, with a computer. These are beautiful springs, give you just the right amount of resistance. Then we have the long yellow springs, which are used for the leg work, and we have long purple springs as an option, which are heavier. This can be taken up and down, or if you attach them to here, in and out. We've got attachments from the top, again, that can go in and out. We've got the fuzzies. We've got a pair of blue springs, which we typically use from the top for the push-through bar. We've got a pair of red springs, which we typically use for the bottom loaded, for the footwork. I showed you why you don't need to change springs, change strengths of springs. You can just take the cuffs up and down to adjust the resistance. And then it comes with handles. I'll just show you how the foot straps and the handles connect. So if you want to use the handles, we always use the handles actually with the short yellow springs to do our arm work. So I'll just take the push-through bar off, and if you want to do your arms standing, we bring these to the other side, bring this to the other side, lock it into place, and no carabiners, simply put these handles in place, and we are ready for our arm work. Beautiful spring, very smooth, very quiet because we don't have carabiners. We turn around. Perfect resistance, challenging, smooth to go into your full arm series and arm work. So those are the arm springs. Again, very easy to take these handles out. We typically leave them hanging just there. No carabiners needed. Just thread this through, hang it here. We haven't got away from carabiners altogether, so we still use them for the roll-up bar. And then I will reattach it over there. So the springs, as you can see, these springs are set up already. For footwork, I'll just take that out, or for leg work, these are the long yellows. I'll take this long yellow, attach it here, put it through. That is the attachment for the leg spring. I'll take it from this Cadillac. As I take it off, attach it here, goes through, very easy, and there we go. As I said, purple springs, long purples are optional. They are heavier and certainly challenging for the leg work. Finally, the F2 mechanism integrated into the Cadillac. So I have here the two F2 handles. We put that there. We put this in here. So this opens up multiple options for work. Both to use as a handle. For instance, if I want to lie and do supine work, holding on to these handles, they provide an exceptional support system. At the same time, we can attach springs to these handles, and we do magnificent hip work, leg work, arm work with springs attached to this F2 mechanism. This mechanism rotates. There are numbers over here to tell you what setting you have on that plate as it seamlessly rotates. It also rotates 90 degrees, either in that direction, 90 degrees in that direction, and can go to whatever level you like. And here as well, we've got different levels starting from number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, made of high-grade aircraft aluminum. Notice the bearings in here, beautiful bearings, so this rotates seamlessly and smoothly. We've got this rubber coating and a place to hook springs on if you would like to do leg work with springs attached to the F2 mechanisms. That is the Bassy Systems Cadillac. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and please visit bassysystems.com for more information about the Cadillac and any of our other line of apparatus. Thank you so much.